Hi. Everything you're about to see is actually just going live. So what we're doing is we're talking about the food sensor generation 4. I do have a food sensor generation 4 in front of me. Today I'm going to focus on measuring whole chilies. So as I say, everything is essentially live. I do have a couple of whole chilies. The only thing I've done is actually taken the stalks off them. You'll see me share another camera with you very shortly, and in that camera I will be preparing the sample and testing the Scoville Heat Unit. So as I say, everything's going to go live, and I'll sort of effectively jump straight into it at this point. So let's talk about testing whole chilies. Now, admittedly, these were something that I picked up at the local supermarket. It doesn't mean that these are the world's hottest chilies, but I'm just going to show you the kind of workflow, and it's going to go pretty quickly. So first of all, I've just got a kind of domestic chopper, if I can call it that, here. I've got some already chopped, but I just want to kind of give you a sense of pour these guys in. Nothing super complicated there. I bring the lid in here. I'll just give it a quick vortex. So I'll probably do that for about, well, realistically, I'll do it for about 20 seconds. I may do it a bit quicker, but let me just count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So I'm just kind of showing you, like I say, everything's going live at the moment. So you can have a quick look in there, get a sense of how chopped things are. As I say, I wasn't expecting this to be super hot because in reality, this is I'm going to start coughing in a minute. In reality, this is a mild chili that you would get from the supermarket. I'm just going to put that lid back on it just to kind of stop the oils. Now I've got a little balance here. Now I'll bring the balance into shot. Nothing super clever about it. Now I have previously weighed out 100 milligrams of some chilies. I actually did it by picking them out actually with tweezers. So I'm not going to do the 100 milligram weighing out in front of you now, because you can appreciate that that is, how do I put this? That is going to take a little bit of time. But what I'm going to do is put those chilies into this little beaker. So let me do whoops a daisy. Yeah, let me do that. If I spill anything, I'll pick it up with a tweezer as I go. There's a little bit there. So I'm doing that. There's a little bit there. And I am doing that. All right. So I've got my chilies sort of picked up. I'm going to go a little bit faster than I would have, normally done. I'm not going to over criticize that I'm doing this wrong, but I'm just going to kind of go faster than I would normally have got. So the 100 milligrams in there, I'm going to put 900 milliliters of butter in there. Just give me one. So what I'm now going to do is put 900 milliliters into the little beaker here. So you can see me doing that. So I'm doing that. Then I'm going to end vortexing this. I'll go pull the vortexer into view so that you can see me doing this in real time. So I'll count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, what I find is that pepper powders, or sorry, chili powders, I actually think they're very hard to extract and very hard to dissolve. Because by the time you've got to the powder, you've desiccated it, and it's actually quite hard to get the capsaicin back into solution. When the capsaicin is coming out of something like a sauce or something like a fresh pepper, it is actually easier to dissolve it. So I'm going to do a bit more because it's quite chunky at this point. So appreciate that chunkiness like that means large surface area. And it's not, so it's going to take longer to extract. So I'll extract a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so that's probably done well enough for now. Now, what are you going to see me do now is I'm just going to make sure that you can see this. I've got the fluid sensor generation 4 here. I'll click out that old sensor and I will bring in a new Chillies sensor. I know they're Chillies sensors because it says it on the package. And I will snap one of these guys off, which I have done. I will bring this in and I will close it up. And now at this point, I just need 50 microliters of the chili. So I'm thinking aloud a little bit. So 50 microliters of the chili. And I will pipette that onto the sample. So I'm doing that now. So there it goes. All right, so I got 50 microliters on there. I'm just bringing my phone into shot because my phone will allow me to go whole chilies. I'll call them 101 so I can find it. It's my phone that's basically controlling the fluid sensor generation 4 at this point by Bluetooth connection. I'll go continue. I'll choose what's called 1 in 10 because that's the 1 in 10 dilution. I hit start and off it goes. So I suppose the longest process is actually preparing the sample, but I mean, it wasn't that hard, you know. I ground up those chilies in a chopper. I weighed out 100 milligrams. I put 100 milligrams into 900 microliters of buffer. I vortex that. The longer you vortex for, then, you know, I don't say then, you know, but that's how you extract. So, you know, vortexing is important. So I suppose there's 3 bits of equipment that I've used in this test so far. The fluid sensor generation 4 itself, which is that guy there. When I say that guy there, as it's a bit dark. So the fluid sensor generation 4, I've used my phone. This has come back at 1190. Understand that 1190, if this was a dried desiccated chili, 1190 would have actually come back at 11,900. But I think there's a few, you know, and I'm not criticizing anyone, people don't quite understand the difference between dry weight and wet weight. So when people are talking about a certain chili having a, you know, 2.6 million Scoville heat unit, if you were to test that chili fresh, it would actually have more like a 260,000 Scoville heat unit. But when you've desiccated it and driven off all the liquid, that's when it kind of gets that kind of hotness. So fluid sensor generation 4, we've got a result on my phone. Now what I'll do is I'm just going to share my screen with you here. I'm just going to do a quick refresh here. So just watch this for a second. The result would pop up whole chilies 101. So we have the ability. This is what really becomes important then for people who are kind of interested in quality control within a kind of manufacturing environment or a food processing environment. They need traceability. So this gives us the title or the test here, the date in universal time, the time in universal time, the date in universal time, the operator, and then we have the signal. You can tell this is capsaicin, peak 1, peak 2, and peak 3 for capsaicin. Here's our analysis. Here's our results, 1,187. But if these were desiccated and dried and turned into a powder, then that would come back at 10x that. But don't get confused, because sometimes people see chilies and think that they're necessarily either tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions of Scoville heat units, but that's only when you've dried them down. So if you do have any questions about testing the Scoville heat unit of whole chilies and other chili products, then don't hesitate to contact us through the website. Okay, thanks very much. Take care. Bye-bye.